minus 71 degrees Celsius. Yakutia was no longer a place for humans. It was a frozen world where even the air could kill. The Siberian wind screamed across the endless tundra like a living monster, swallowing everything in snow. For weeks, the storm had not stopped. Entire forests disappeared beneath ice and darkness. In this part of Siberia, survival depended on one thing alone: endurance. Far from civilization, an elderly couple continued their daily struggle against nature. Nikolai and Anna had survived decades in the frozen wilderness, but this winter felt different. The cold was merciless. Their skin cracked beneath the Arctic wind. Their breath froze instantly in the air. At minus 71 degrees Celsius, even a few minutes outside could mean death. Their small wooden cabin trembled beneath the violent storm. Snow buried the roof higher each night, and the old walls groaned against the endless pressure of the blizzard. Every piece of firewood mattered. Without heat, the cabin would become an icy tomb before morning. So despite his age, Nikolai stepped back into the deadly storm. Inside the cabin, Anna waited in silence. The storm outside sounded like wolves screaming through darkness. Something about this night filled her with fear. Then suddenly, Nikolai noticed strange tracks in snow. Fresh wolf prints, leading deep into the frozen forest. The couple followed the tracks carefully. The deeper they walked into the Siberian taiga, the quieter the world became. And then they heard it, a weak howl carried by the wind. Not the sound of a hunter, but the cry of something dying. Half buried beneath the snow lay a massive gray wolf. She was injured, exhausted, and pregnant.
Those
At
howls
minus
are getting
71
closer.
degrees Celsius, she had only minutes left to
won't
live.
let them in.
Her breathing was shallow. Ice covered her fur like frozen armor, but her eyes still moved, filled with fear and desperation. Anna slowly reached toward the animal. The wolf did not attack. Instead, she looked at the old woman, as if begging for help. Nikolai hesitated. A wounded wolf was dangerous enough, but protecting a pregnant predator inside their cabin could destroy them all. But leaving her behind meant death. So together, the elderly couple lifted the frozen animal and carried her through the storm. The blizzard became even more violent. Wind slammed against them with terrifying force. The frozen wilderness did not want them to survive. Their small lantern flickered in the darkness. Its weak light barely pierced the endless wall of snow surrounding them. Step by step, they dragged the dying wolf back toward the cabin. Each breath burned their lungs like ice. When the cabin door finally opened, warm firelight spilled into the frozen night. For the first time in hours, there was hope. The wolf collapsed beside the fireplace. Slowly, the ice covering her fur began to melt. Anna heated water, while Nikolai secured the doors against the storm. Outside, Siberia continued raging like a nightmare. Carefully, Anna cleaned the wolf's wounds. The animal trembled in pain, but never attacked. Then suddenly, the wolf opened her eyes. For a brief moment, predator and human stared at one another in complete silence. Outside the cabin, the storm only grew stronger. The temperature continued falling deeper into deadly territory. The wolf began breathing heavily. Something was wrong. Anna realized the animal was about to give birth. The elderly couple rushed to prepare blankets near the fire. Neither of them had ever imagined this moment. Above the frozen wilderness, the Arctic night swallowed Yakutia in darkness. Even the sky looked lifeless. But deep inside the forest,
Hold on
glowing
tight, she's
eyes
slipping.
appeared between the trees.
I
The
have her,
wolf
but the
pack had
snow is too
arrived.
deep.
Nikolai gripped
One more
his
push,
old
almost
hunting
there.
axe tightly.
She's so
He
heavy,
knew
but we
hungry
can't leave
wolves
her.
could tear through the cabin if they wanted. But the injured wolf remained calm beside Anna, as if somehow she trusted them. At midnight, the storm reached terrifying levels. The
There,
cabin shook violently
Let's get
beneath
you
the
cleaned up,
Arctic
sweet
winds.
mother.
Ice spread across
It's
every
all right.
window.
I'm here to help.
The outside world disappeared
You're
behind
safe
layers
now.
of frozen crystal. Then finally, through pain and exhaustion, the wolf gave birth. A tiny wolf pup cried softly beside the fire. Life had survived the deadliest cold on earth. Anna smiled through tears. In this frozen land of death, a miracle had been born. Outside, the wolf pack remained silent, watching
Keep
the cabin
pulling,
through
we're
the
almost
storm.
there.
The cabin
Poor
door
thing is
shook
shivering.
violently. For one
We'll get it
terrifying
inside.
moment,
Just a bit more.
Nikolai thought the wolves
see
were
the cabin.
attacking.
We're
He
almost
stood
there. Hold
guard
on.
through the entire night,
Did
protecting
you hear
not
that?
only his wife, but the wild animals they had rescued.
Stay
By
close,
morning,
Amy.
the wolf mother finally stood on her feet again. Her strength had
The
returned.
storm's fierce. Keep the
storm
fire going.
slowly faded.
He's shivering.
Golden
His blanket
sunlight
should
touched the
help.
frozen Siberian
Easy now,
wilderness.
fella.
The
You're
first
safe
time
with
in
us.
days. The cabin stood buried beneath mountains of snow and ice.
It's all right now.
But somehow it
I'm
had
here.
survived. The wolf quietly
fought so
stared
hard.
toward the forest
Rest now.
outside. It was time to return
protect
home.
your little ones.
For one final morning, the elderly couple fed the wolf and her newborn pup beside the fire. The frozen wilderness had become silent again. Only the wind remained. Slowly, shapes appeared between the pine trees. The waiting wolf pack stepped forward from the snow. The wolf mother stopped at the edge of the forest and looked back one final time at the humans who saved her life. Then together, the wolves disappeared into the endless Siberian wilderness. Nikolai and Anna stood silently outside their cabin, watching the storm carry the animals away. At minus 71 degrees Celsius, survival in Yakutia is never guaranteed. But even in the coldest place on Earth, compassion can still survive. In the frozen heart of Siberia, where nature decides who lives and who dies, an elderly husband and wife risked everything to save a creature the world fears most. And for one impossible night, human and wolf survived together. At minus 71 degrees Celsius, Yakutia was no longer a place for humans. It was a frozen world where even the air could kill. The Siberian wind screamed across the endless tundra,